Here at Ignition GT, we've always been big fans of the vehicles that Lexus produces. It's not one thing per se that they do, it's rather the way they bring all the elements together that leaves you feeling, I don't know, rather pampered.
There are 16 different sensing areas around the car for temperature to make sure each and every passenger is completely comfortable.
Headroom, legroom, shoulder room. You're not going to find a competitor in this price range that can match. So Lexus has now joined BMW, Volvo and Audi in the luxury compact SUV battle with their UX or Urban Explorer. But let's just be clear, when we speak of battle, it's more like a battle for the manufacturers to actually sell these cars. Now all the talk around the UX has been around the rather dramatic styling, but here at Ignition GT we want to focus and start off by talking about the drive. This is the first car that's been built on their new GAC global platform. But to be fair, the platform has been around for quite some time. Toyota uses it extensively. The Prius, the CHR and the new Corolla all run on the same platform. The platform has a low center of gravity, it is lightweight and it's super rigid. This sounds amazing if you're building a sports car. Now Lexus, when talking of the UX, is speaking of exceptional rigidity for sports hatch utility. I would have preferred them to leave the rigidity in the body and not filter it down through the suspension, because to be fair, this is probably the firmest Lexus that we've ever driven. Having said that though, I don't think it's going to be any different to how the Volvo XC40 or the BMW X2 drives. I think it's just that we are so used to that unbelievable silky smooth comfort of ride that the Lexus brand always offers. There are two models to choose from, the UX200 and the UX250 hybrid, and both of them are running with new high-efficiency 4-cylinder 2-litre petrol engines. There's also the F-Sport derivative, which is what we are driving in, and that's linked to the UX200. In terms of performance figures, 126 kilowatts, 205 newton meters, and we've been driving quite a few 2-litre CVTs recently, and those performance figures are actually a little bit higher than what we found in many of the other cars we've driven, and it delivers its power really well. A lot of the competitors though obviously are sitting with smaller capacity turbo engines. I think it's going to be pretty similar from a driving perspective, although up here on the Highveld, the turbo might get the job done. And their CVT is fantastic. I actually went and set the toggle into the sport dynamic mode, and I was playing with the paddles, and we know Lexus is obviously well known for their 10-speed auto transmission, but they've actually, even with their CVT, if you do put into manual mode, they've created a 10-speed stepped sensation. So that's pretty cool, and it works really well. It's a good CVT. What I do love is the filtering down of the tech from their bigger vehicles into the UX. I love the digital instrument cluster, and the little drive mode selector stalks are probably still going to be a contentious discussion point for some people. But having said that, really good driving position that I'm in. My only issue is massive blind spots, especially this beeple. I find myself needing to do this a lot because I actually just can't see. But you know what hasn't changed is just that level of luxury and refinement from the interior perspective. It is luxurious Lexus at its very best. Chief Engineer Kako's focus was creating an uncluttered, less is more interior that would appeal to a younger customer. Well, even this old geezer really digs it. A 7-inch TFT LCD instrument cluster is standard, while the F-Sport display is 8 inches and has the movable meter ring we first saw in the LFA supercar, allowing for display content to be easily changed with the push of a button. A 7-inch landscape display is standard, while the F-Sport derivative screen grows to 10.25 inches, and both are controlled via the love-to-hate remote touch interface. But I find it hypersensitive and a little frustrating to use. Oh yes, it is bold, it's robust, and it sits on the road like a sports car. The UX is a standout. Up front, it's the Lexus spindle grille with the new block-shaped mesh pattern that dominates without being brash. In the F-Sport derivative, L-shaped individual pieces give the grille a further distinct look, along with the revised front and rear bumper with jet black trim. The narrow single projected dual beam LED headlights are standard, of course. The rear of the UX is dominated by the aero-stabilizing blade lights, which begin at the top of the rear fenders and span right across the rear. Now sure, they guide airflow to reduce turbulence and improve stability, but it's a distinctive signature formed by the 120 LEDs that really stands out. But what is really terrible is the boot space. At just 272 litres, there is no utility or practicality in this crossover. Luxury compact crossovers like the UX are really geared up for the trendy set that hang out at funky corner cafes like this one, the Richmond Studio Cafe. They are not cheap. The UX starts at 599,000 Rand. The hybrid SE derivative is going to set you back 699,000 Rand. And then the F-Sport in our test unit, a cool 726,000 Rand. So which one would I choose? Ooh, nice coffee. I'd go for the hybrid actually, because it offers the best all-round performance. It is quicker, it is certainly way more fuel efficient, and it has a CO2 reading of 103 grams per kilometers, which is really impressive. It is also the thing that sets the UX apart from its competitors. But I don't think you're going to see too many of these on our roads, and it's a pity, because just have a look at it. It is damn hot.